Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and today we're going to look at the Drive 3B. It's the new bow for 2019 for PSE, replacing the Drive X. This is actually the Drive X, so we're going to start with this bow. So this bow, in 2018, PSE fitted the new limb pocket, so you can wind the bow out a long way and get heaps of poundage adjustment. You can adjust this bow about 30 pounds because they changed to this system here. It's got the compression limbs you see on all the PSEs, and this was a hybrid cam system. So what it meant was this has got a yoke at the top, and down the bottom you have a different cam system. Modules to change the draw length. The bow's nice and light. I think it weighs about 3.6, pretty fast at about 332 feet per second. A really nice bow with lots of sight positions here. The bow came in lots of different color options. This being the cryptic here. Now I've got this one purely by mistake, because when I was sorting through all the bows to bring out for this review, I was like, I want a cryptic camo. So I grabbed this one, and it actually came in the shipment with the 2019 bows. So the changeover, I've got actually Drive X is made on the same day as the 3B, which is the new one for 2019. So this is the cryptic camo. Cryptic's pretty common. Now this is a film dip process, and you can see sometimes in the pockets here it's a little bit faded. So overall it's a pretty good finish, not perfect but pretty good. The limbs are matching camo. Graphics are nice. So in the 2019 version this is going to be a twin cam system, but I'm just grabbing the cryptic to show you. So now let's look at the 2019 version. So the first thing is the Drive 3B comes in 5 color finishes. This being the country camo, the cryptic, I'm trying to get them all correct, then the black, they're the 3 most popular. It also comes in a charcoal and a tan for 2019, so we're going to show you all of those finishes. So this is the country camo. This is going to be your most popular because you can obviously get the matching bow quiver for it. 2-piece quiver fits on there, the little pin fits in there. Multiple sight holes. The riser is the same as the 2018 model. So this is the twin cam here. You'll see the 3B marked here. So they call this the Evolve cam system. It's different to the top of the line Evolve cam systems. With the top of the line Evolve system, you have a twin yoke. Here it's just there's no yoke system here. It's just a feed on, feed off system with a module to adjust the draw length, and you cannot adjust the let off. You can see on the more expensive Evolve cams you can change the let off by moving this backwards and forwards. Here it's fixed. So it's a really simple system to change the draw length, A being the longest and in this case L being the shortest. So this bow speeds 330 feet per second and draw length from 25.5 up to 31 inches. So that's a really good draw length range. You've got massive poundage adjustment. So this bow in 2019 comes in a 60 or a 70 pound option. I would like there to be a 50 pound option also, but that doesn't exist. It's got about 30 pounds of adjustment, so the 60 will go down to 30. But for me, I'm going to say a lot of my customers, I'm talking about ladies and kids, the 50 pound option was really nice to have because then it wound down to about 20 pounds. 30 pounds will be too heavy for some kids and ladies. But the Drive was never really thought of as a kids or ladies bow, but at 50 pounds it was very, very much suitable. So you got plastic limb pockets, a nice little pocket system here. This is all actually a one pocket system, so it all locks into place. Quite a nice little system, nice and light. Balance on the bow, you see the balance is good. Very light, so it just sort of sits there. It's really good balance. Limb dampeners. Now if you want to fit a lower stabilizer, you can fit it on the side there or there. And like I said, 2-piece quiver, carbon cable rod, standard string stop, carbon string stop, and normal cable guard. So it's not flexible. The more expensive bows will be flexible. Okay, so this is the tan version of the Drive 3B. The tan's a new finish for 2019. I think it came out in 2018 in some models. Now this is a paint finish, and I'm just going to zoom up to it. At some spots it's rough, so it's almost like a powder kind of finish. It's not It's not rough like the Hoyt. The Hoyt tan finish is almost like sandpaper. It's not like sandpaper, but it's not smooth. Okay, this is clearly not a smooth finish. The limbs you can see are the same color. I think this looks quite nice in the tan. So who's going to buy the tan? I think the tan will appeal to all archers as a different color, so it'll definitely appeal to hunters. The strings match it nicely. I think PSE have done a really good job this year and of last year matching the strings to the color of the bow. You know, this is tan, they're obviously matching tan strings to it, where in the past all bows came with red strings. Now they're kind of matching and doing it up, so I like the tan. Nice option. I don't think I'll sell many. I think in the past it's always been camo and black sell almost in the same numbers, then charcoal. I think the tan will be cryptic. Actually, I don't sell many of the cryptics. I think tan and cryptic will sell about the same numbers. Okay, so this is the black version of the Drive. Now you'll see the paint finish in this is smooth. This is a smooth finish. The limbs are smooth. Not smooth as in silky smooth, but it's a lot smoother than the tan finish. It's a nice finish overall. Obviously got the red strings which look nice. Wouldn't look nice with red cams, but wish list. Now I think with the twin cam system, because these cams are rolling over together, you want them in time. So you want the top cam and the bottom cam rolling over together, and you want the arrow dead in the center of this string. So you measure it from there to there, and that line there should be the center of the string, and that line there should be the center as well. So, but I just measure it off with a tape measure, put the D loop dead in the center, and yeah, I'm in business. So nice and simple. This bow is simple to set up, simple to shoot, functional bow for everyone. So the black is smooth, the tan is not smooth. Okay, so this is the charcoal finish. So you've got the black limbs, there's no charcoal limbs on this bow. The limbs are a smooth black finish. Now this finish, it's kind of, when I say rough, it's not smooth like the black. It's more like the tan finish. It's a little bit rougher in spots than the tan finish. It's like speckly. But that's the charcoal. The charcoal looks kind of nice. It looks very much black, especially in this light because it's so bright. But it's got a bit of a metallic finish to it. I don't know if you can see it. It's quite a bright light. It's almost like a powder coat. This would be a really hard wearing finish. Really like it a lot. I'd probably prefer it with charcoal limbs, but it is what it is. Black limbs it is. So that's the colors. So we've got the black, the tan, the charcoal, the cryptic, and the camo. So that's the colors the Drive comes in, and like I said, it's an extremely popular bow. So let's try this bow out and let's see how it compares to last year's model, and let's see if it still stacks up to be one of the biggest selling bows of 2019, because that's what the Drive is. It's such a big selling bow. Okay, so we're going to try out the Drive 3B. This is my first draw with the bow. Now I'm going to first off point out the cam here. As far as the cable, you can see it wraps around the yoke, so it's very much like the Evolve cam system on the expensive PSE as far as it unwraps. But on the expensive Evolve cam system, you have the twin system to balance it. So this system here, the way they're going to balance their limbs on the PSE, you'll see here, this limb here is 136 and this limb here is 141. So I think that's the heavy limb and this is the lighter limb here. So down the bottom you have 135 and a 138. So let's just repeat that. 136, 140, 140, it's either 141 or 147, 135 and a 138. So the lighter limbs are always on this side, on the Drive. It's very important if ever you're rebuilding your PSE to make sure you put the limbs in the right order, because otherwise you'll get cam lean. So let's start off. Now the bow's very light, the grip's pretty standard. It's not, I'm going to say it's not too wide, not too thin. So it's a pretty standard grip. It's got a big hole here. And kind of this little finger kind of wants to go in there, but when I actually hold the grip properly, it won't. So when you hold your grip like that, your fingers are nowhere near this hole, but if you hold it incorrectly like that, you'll see your little finger goes in that hole, and that's not what you want to do. So you always want to have your knuckles at 45. So let's see what this draws like. Now the arrows I use for the speed tests are always gold tip velocity 400s with a 90 grain point. I think they come in at 324 grains. The bow's set at 60 pounds at 29 inches. So let's first off just try the draw cycle. So it starts off, the draw cycle is very solid at the start. Solid, 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 solid. Starting to become lighter, 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 very light, very like nothing, like just zero. I'm going to try and let that down. Okay. So when you get back there, it feels like 90% let off. I don't know what it is. But it feels 85%. So when you get back there, you're only holding 15% of the actual weight. So this is a 60 pound bow, so you're going to be holding about 12 pounds when you're back there at full draw. Now with some of the bows, when it starts dropping off, it drops off very sharply. This is not the case with this bow. It's leaned off quite lightly. As a result, I don't expect to pick up the huge speeds, but there's a fair bit of grunt at the start. So this is projected an IBO speed of 330, which through the chronograph, I'd be expecting a 330 bow with these arrows and my draw length and 60 pounds, be somewhere around 300 feet per second. So let's see what sort of speeds we get. .289. Now that draw cycle is light. It's very, very easy. Now the old drive is a hybrid cam system, which I always found very easy to draw cycle. It's a different draw cycle, but it's still very easy. Like I'm holding there on peak, nothing, drops back. .289 again. I'd say the bow's very quiet to shoot. There's virtually no vibration at all in the handle. The draw cycle's easier than the Evoke that I shot yesterday, the Evoke 31, which I shot 2 days ago, and my sight just fell off. Yeah, it's a very easy draw cycle. When you get back here, you can hold it all day. There's no cam lean at all. The cams are perfectly in alignment. .288. So 288, 289 and 289. But you just see after the shot, the bow's not moving at all. It's really good. And I was always impressed with the drive. So the drive, the Drive R in 2017, the Drive X in 2018, they changed the riser to this pocket design here. To me, it didn't really change the bow much, just gave more poundage adjustment, and I always found the Drive as a really nice bow to shoot. It's an easy bow to shoot. Like it's just simple, there's no vibration, the bow's not moving anywhere. Now to compare this bow to the Evoke, the $1,300 PSE, you've got the different cams. These cams are easier to draw on the drive than the Evoke. The Evoke cams have more adjustability as far as draw. You can fit different modules to the bow to change the way the bow feels to increase the speed of the Evoke. So if you want to fit the fast modules, you can make that bow into a fast bow. You can't do that with the drive. You can change the let off on the Evoke. You can't do that with the drive. But overall, this bow is easy to shoot. It's definitely a step up from the PSE Stinger. There's no question about that. And I'm going to say the Evoke, the draw cycle is easier on this, but I'm going to say the Evoke is a better bow than this. but is it twice the bow? Because this bow's, you know, roughly 650 Australian, the Evoque's around 1300. Now this all gets back to how much money you've got, how wealthy you are, how much you want to throw at a new bow purchase. But it's, you know, roughly 650. This is a really nice bow, and you could shoot a decent score with this bow. There's no question at all that you could shoot a good score with this bow. I'm just going to let that down. You watch this. It's like, it's just easy. It doesn't rip my arm out. Some of the harder bows, I'm just going to pick on an Elite because I did the Elite a couple of weeks ago. I can remember the draw cycle. And the Evoque, it really hurts as you let it down because it's suddenly, the poundage is suddenly on your shoulder. This bow is nothing. It's like simple. Marla. Now just watch the vibration when I shoot this. So my hand's completely relaxed and the bow just does a little bit of that. So there's nothing there. It would benefit from a stabilizer, yes, but you don't need to add a big stabilizer to this bow because it's pretty well balanced. It's nice and light, good for hunting because you can carry this bow all day given that it's so light a physical weight. The finish is good, color choices are good, draw length adjustment is good. PSE's warranty is the best in the industry, I'm going to say. They're just top class. So I really like this bow. So we're going to sight this in now and let's see how I shoot at 18 meters with it. But very nice. Now, if you've got the 2017 or the 2018 drive and the 2019 drive comes out and you're going, well, do I need to buy the new one? Look, I'm going to say no, you don't. There's no need to upgrade. It's basically a cam change. PSE is going away from the hybrid cam to a twin cam system. Is it easier twin cam versus hybrid cam? Look, I don't think there's much difference. I've shot all the different cams, single cams, hybrid cams, twin cams. In some ways, the hybrid cam is easier. Sorry, the twin cam is easier because you just line up both cams, the timing. With a hybrid cam, if one cam's out of time, it's hard to tell. And the only way you can tell is through paper tuning. And that's when you're getting the high rips and low rips. And you're like, well, what is it? Is it my knocking point? Is it my spine? Is it the tuning of the cables? Where this is simple. This is really, really simple. So I don't know if that's why PSE have gone to the twin cam system, because that's their flagship, the twin cam Evolve. So they just said, well, we'll introduce that across our range. But to me, if you've got the 2017 drive or the 2018 drive, there's no need to upgrade to the 2019 drive. And I haven't shot this bow at 18, but the other bows were fine. But if you're looking for a new bow, the Drive 3B, what a weird name. Why would they call it 3B? That makes no sense. But it's a nice bow to shoot. So let's go and take this 18 meters and see how it goes. Okay, so we're here to shoot the Drive 3B at 18 meters. Now I've sighted the bow in, and I must say my grips were pretty average. My last two arrows did hit the X in the sight-in, so now I'm going to say also with draw length, my draw length is normally 28.5. This bow's set on 29 and it feels short for me. So depending on the bow, the draw length is going to feel a little bit different based on the axle and even based on the bow. So for me, this bow feels short at 29. Maybe I've grown in the last day, but that's what's nice about having rotating modules, so you can change the draw length. The draw is very smooth on this bow. It's a very easy bow to shoot. So let's see how these arrows perform. Now I've got a basic 5-pin sight, a little basic whisker biscuit on it. That's it. No peep sight, D-loop, no stabilizer, no sling. It's a very basic setup. I'm shooting Scott backspin release aid, Victory VAP arrows. These are my target arrows. So let's see how they go. Now I'm going to say the draw cycle is very easy, so you're on the target straight away. The pin is very stable. It just sits in the middle. There's a little bit of vibration in the middle. You get rid of that with stabilizers, but it's very easy. This is an easy bow to shoot. Now if you're starting off in archery, I'd recommend starting with a beginner bow like the Drive or the Stinger, because if you go for the harder bows, they're actually harder to draw and harder to shoot. This bow is easy. I don't know what a group like, but it's definitely an easy draw cycle. So basically it's easier to get your technique perfected. So if you're going to use this bow for hunting, it's perfect, it's easy to draw, it's very quiet, there's no vibration, so you don't need to add a lot of stabilizers. If you're going to use it for 3D archery, look, the speed's not blistering fast compared to some of the other bows, but look, it's okay. I shot a 3D course with this and I shot a perfect score. It's fine. Like for a 3D archery, if you guess the distances wrong, then a faster bow is going to make it a little bit easier. But a faster bow is also harder to shoot. So as I've become older, I'm tending to go for bows which are easy to shoot rather than faster bows, even though I do own the Full Throttle, which is the fastest bow made. But I tend not to shoot it very much. I tend to shoot bows which are easier to shoot. Look, I find that's almost holding as well as my target bow with all stabilizers on it. It's holding really, really well. I don't know how it's grouping down the other end, but I feel like the pin is in the 10 most of the time. I'm not feeling any pain in my shoulders through the 60 pounds. I mean, I'd normally shoot 60 pounds, but this is an easy 60 pounds. It feels more like a 54. It feels, yeah, more like 54, 55 than 60. But it's quiet, it's really quiet. I've got a feeling that one was more. I've got a feeling I was aiming that one slightly to the left. So I still should have been an okay shot, but I've got a feeling it was more towards the left, but you'd know where that went. But this is really nice to shoot. That one was slightly low in the 10 when I shot it. So when I'm looking at buying a bow, I go to an archery shop and I look at the Stinger, because that's generally where you start at the budget model at around $450 Australian dollars. Now this bow is going to be $200 more. Is it $200 better than the Stinger? Look, it is better than the Stinger. It's just a matter of what $200 is to you. It's faster than the Stinger. It's probably smoother than the Stinger in the draw cycle. Probably more adjustability in the poundage than the Stinger, but the Stinger has got more draw length adjustability than this bow. So it's really up to you on whether you value, how you value $200. And then the next question is going to be, well, at this price point, then do I go to the Bow Madness Epics, which is 2 inches longer, better riser, it's now got the same cams as this. Do I go to that bow? And this all gets down to your budget. I think my grouping down there is pretty good. It's hard to see from here, obviously, but it feels good, it's easy to shoot. So for me as a salesperson, selling bows, I'm never inclined to go, yes, that's a better bow for you, because it's based on your budget. If you earn decent money, the difference between 200 is probably not much, and you might say, well, I prefer to buy the bow once than buy two bows. But there's nothing wrong with this bow. If you're a recreational shooter and you shoot once a month, this bow is absolutely fine for you. I mean, it'd be fine for me, honestly. It's just for me, I shoot every day. I generally shoot comp. And as I've become older, this is what I do. I do archery. So I tend to buy the more expensive bows rather than the cheaper bows. But as a student, when I was dead broke, a bow like this would have just been fantastic. So things change as your lifestyle changes. So, but yeah, it's a really nice bow. And do I prefer this bow than the Evoke, which is 1300? Like the bow draws easier, it's quieter, the Evoke is faster. Look, there's some advantages on the Evoke over this, which I've already mentioned. But there's nothing wrong with this bow. I mean, I would prefer this bow in a 50, so it's actually targeted at ladies and kids. I think this bow could be a ladies and kids bow, and I think it would be a good ladies and kids bow. But generally, the price point puts it beyond kids and puts it beyond, I'm going to say ladies. It's not that ladies don't have money, because they do. Generally, they're shooting because their partner shoots. As a result, they're generally in the Stinger price point because it's something that they just do occasionally. Obviously, there's ladies who are serious into it and they'll go right to the $2,000 bows, but I'm just talking majority of sales. So the number of ladies who buy $2,000 bows for me in my store is, I can't even think of one, and I'm sure there has been one. I'm talking $2,000 bows. I can't think of one. So where there's a whole bunch buying Stingers. So, and that's my point. It's not that they don't buy the expensive bows. They do in the target realm, the 3D realm. It's just there's so few of those sales out there. I mean, archery, I think 90 to 95% male. There's a few more ladies shooting recurve. I think it's almost 50-50 with recurves. But with the compound, especially the hunting side, in Australia, it's very male dominated. Anyway, let's go down and see where these arrows are landing. I think they've actually gripped really, really well. So it'd be much better than they've gripped in practice, because practice was horrible. So let's see. Okay, so I'm up here at the target and I can easily fit my fingers around that group. Now, I've been out here shooting since Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I've been experimenting with stabilizers on my target bow. And you're saying, what's this got to do with what has this got to do with this review? Well, I found when I put a heap of stabilizers on my PSE Perform, I shot really great groups, kind of like this. But the problem was I couldn't actually hold the weight of it up, so I fatigued, and I got to such a stage that I was like shaking like this after I'd shot so many arrows. So I put that away and I went back to the normal stabilizer, and my grouping wasn't as good. I was actually shooting the occasional 8 at 18 meters with the Perform. So then I went back to the Focus with the heavy weights on, and I was grouping fine again. Now this group is amazing. It's so good. It's like I don't have a peep sight, I don't have stabilizers, I don't have a 6-power scope, and honestly that group is pretty much as good as I shot with my complete target setup. It's just unbelievably good. Now, why is this good compared to other bows that I shoot? One, the draw cycle's easy. So if the draw cycle's easy, basically as I get back there, I'm aimed straight away, so I don't have to correct the vision. The weight feels light. So if the bow feels heavy to me, I shake more. So shaking more decreases my accuracy, I found. So if I'm struggling with the draw cycle, basically the grouping struggles. So if your bow's ever too heavy for you, you're going to struggle with the accuracy of the bow. This bow felt easy to draw. It had no shock in the shot. It had no vibration. It was quiet. It was enjoyable to shoot. It was enjoyable to draw back. Now I haven't tuned this bow. I just stuck the arrow rest on. I stuck a D loop on, and I've come out and I've shot a group like that. Like now, if you shot that at a state championship, you're going to do pretty well with a bow with a whisker biscuit and a 5-pin hunting sight. So when people ever look at buying archery gear and, do I buy a $600 sight? I have a $600 Axel sight. I have a $300-400 scope on my bow. I'm just looking at my target bow there. I have a blade arrow rest. You do not need all that stuff to shoot well, but you want the bow set up, you want it comfortable for you. And that's exactly what this bow is. It was comfortable for me from straight. As soon as I got it, it was comfortable. And that's how it shot. So my summary of the Drive is it's a very easy bow to shoot, very adjustable, about 30 pounds worth of adjustability in the poundage. Lots of colours. I love the colour options. I love this limb bolt system here because you're not going to strip it out. You can see how much more you can wind it out. This system also makes it easy to adjust the poundage. The Drive R, which was the 2017 system, basically if you wound it out too much, you strip the riser, and it was actually hard to adjust. This system here, which came out in 2018, just made life easy, and this should be the standard. You've got the ability to fit a lower stabilizer just there, which is good. Carbon string stop, which is good. The strings look good. Overall, I really like this bow. And like I sort of started this video saying I shot a perfect score with a Drive, and things haven't changed really. That's a pretty impressive little group for a 30-inch axle bow as opposed to a 40-inch target bow. That's pretty good. So I like the weight, 3.7. It's a very light bow, suitable for ladies or kids at that poundage. Great for hunting because it's nice and light, and it's so quiet. I just love the quietness of this bow. The finish is good. You've got to obviously pick the colour that you want the bow in, but overall the service of PSE is great. The delivery times are great. If you have a problem, it's easy to fix. The cam timing is good because each limb's a different poundage. It's a pretty good little bow at its price. I like the Stinger at $450. This is better than the Stinger. Is it $200 better? That's up to you, but that's an awesome group, and I wish I shot that well with my target bow because I've been shooting it for a few days now. Yeah, so I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. That's the PSE Drive 3B. I don't like the name. I'm going to say my preference would be to call it the Drive 19 or the Drive 18 or something like that. 3B, I don't know what B stands for. Why 3? I don't know what that's what. I've got no concept of that. Now I'm going to say all the PSE parts come with part numbers, so you can see the part number there for the cam, the part number for the modules on the back. So it makes it easy if you need to get a part. You just say, look, this is the part number I'm looking for. You give the bow serial number, which is on the back of the handle there. That's all logged at PSE, and they can physically check where that part is for you. It's a very good system. Roller bearings in the wheels, which is good. Overall, really easy bow to work on. Good company backing up. I really like the Drive 3B. Not a fan of the name. So anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Check it out at your local store, the Drive 3B, and have a shot and see what you think. See if you think it's nice and smooth. See what you think about the vibration. I think it's honestly one of the better bows as far as vibration and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty good. Thanks for watching. Bye.